Hello, my name is Tracy Allen, and I want to welcome you to Cooking with Some Friends. Hello, and welcome to Cooking with Some Friends. It's kind of like Pie Central around here today. The club that I'm part of, during our fair, our county fair, we are in charge of the pie contest. And we not only enter because we're part of the organization, but we also bake extra pies so that the community has pies that they can actually sample. And sometimes I disqualify myself because I have a cooking channel, and other times I let my grandkids cook with me and then they can enter, and other times I just do it so that there are extra pies. So anyway, last year I actually had won, and then I said, no, take my name off it because it's not really fair. And so there are different things. But anyway, so one of the pies I'm going to do today is actually for it. I'm doing a couple of pies. So I'm doing some triple berry pies, and I've done a video for that in the past. And I'm going to make blueberry cream pie, and that's what I'm going to show you now. And I'm actually going to do a huckleberry pie because I'll explain it on a different video, but it's just going to be a fun one. But I'm going to show you the blueberry cream pie right now. So I started by making a 9-inch pie crust, and it's not baked yet. You could actually, if you're going to do this pie, you could do a purchased pie crust if you choose to, but I just like making homemade pie crust. So I've taken 3 cups of blueberries, and I don't think you can use frozen berries for this one. I've never tried it that way, but anyway, I've got 3 cups of blueberries, and when I buy blueberries, I rinse them off first in the container, and then I put them through the colander. I like to make sure I get any stems that are in there that I can see, and then I also, see, I missed one, I can see it now. I also then, when I go through it a couple of times, I like to put a paper towel under it in the bowl because I like to get extra moisture out and then run it through and see if I can see more stems. I just don't like to leave any stems on them, but I like to drain any extra moisture I can. Then I'm going to dump these 3 cups of blueberries into my unbaked pie shell. Okay, so that's the next step, is to put those in there. And I'm preheating my oven to 350. So this is our first layer in our pie shell. And then we're going to make the cream layer. So in my bowl, I want to mix together my sugar first. So I have 1 cup of granulated sugar. And I have my flour, which is a 1/3 cup. And I'm going to put in just a little bit of salt, just about 1/8 of a teaspoon. So that's just not very much. Just a little bit for flavor. Almost put that in the sink. And then I have 2 eggs that I've beaten slightly. And I like to have those at room temperature. Just goes together a little nicer. And then 1/2 cup of sour cream. This pie is really easy to put together. And if you don't like making a top crust, this pie is definitely for you because it has a streusel on top. And then 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. I just want to mix that all together until it's well blended. And then I'm going to pour this over the top of my blueberries. Make sure it gets really well blended because you don't want any of that egg to separate out. creates kind of a custard when it bakes. Okay. Make sure I don't have blueberries everywhere. Well covered. Those last blueberries down in the cream. Scoot some of those over so they're in the cream. Okay, now we're going to make our streusel that's going to go over the top of this. And whenever I make the streusel, you can follow the directions exactly like it is, and that's plenty of streusel. But I always, when I make streusel, like just a little extra when I make apple crisp, when I make any of those, I just like a little extra streusel. So I always like to make just a half more of what a recipe calls for. So in my bowl, I have my flour, so I have increased it by half of what it calls for. So the recipe calls for half a cup of flour and half a cup of brown sugar. And then I have my butter that I'm going to cut in. So I'm going to cut all of these together. And then I'm just going to sprinkle this over the top. Should have gotten a bigger bowl, shouldn't I? Step over here and get a fork. Since I'm making so many pies today, I've still got my pastry mat out, and I'm still going strong to make that huckleberry pie. I don't know, coconut cream might even be in our future. You can even cut in with a fork if you choose to. Since my bowl is so small, that may be the best choice. Coconut cream has got to be one of my favorite types of pie. That's why it may be in my future. Just want all that butter to be in really small pieces so it will go throughout your flour and your brown sugar. We're going to bake this for 50 to 55 minutes in that 350-degree oven. And I'd like to cut you a piece and show you what it looks like, but it's going to be at the fair, so I can't even do that for you. If you go to our Cooking with Some Friends Facebook page, maybe I'll post a video of all the pies that are at the fair. You'll have to look for the blueberries and cream pie. Okay, let's get this over the top and put it in the oven. Thanks for joining us for this session of Cooking with Some Friends. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And find us on Facebook at Cooking with Some Friends.